and make sure I don't have a genus. Hello, my beloved oddballs and rarities, and happy Pride Month. I know what you are. What better way to kick off the month than by making a downer video about me complaining about stuff? Today I'm speaking to you as an out loud and proud gender fluid individual. Although this has been far from a secret, I'm pretty sure if you Google me, the first thing the AI will tell you is that I'm gender fluid. But I've never directly addressed this on my channel. Part of this is admittedly this sort of delusional pursuit of mystique. I like being gonzo gendered. I like using my gender as a social experiment to see what people project onto me because I'm dastardly. I've always felt this weird desire to challenge myself in the sense of trying to reach as wide an audience as possible before I take the step of explaining myself. Also, I just feel averse to explaining myself. That's just a lifelong thing. That predates to before I even realized I was gender fluid. I feel like this is coming across as self-hateful. I cannot stress enough how proud I am of my queer identity. Maybe there is a little shame involved. I don't know. There's always a fear of rejection. I'm proud to be queer, proud to be gender fluid. Just to clarify. I've just got that, you know what it is? I've just got that artist fear of labels and boxes. I think that's really what it is. I want people to wonder. Is that evil? This is a terrible energy to start the video with. But what I have come to realize is that mystique is a luxury of the upper class. I'm not a famous pop star. I can't just be vague about my pronouns one time in an interview and never address it again and be accepted as an honorary member of the LGBTQ. I need to be an active, outspoken advocate for my community because unlike the upper class, the vitality of my community affects the quality of my life. So there you go. If at any point you have been wondering, perhaps too scared to ask, what are you? Or if you have asked, what are you? Because I've gotten those as well.
What are you? I'm gender fluid.
This is me saying on record that I am proudly gender fluid. I use any pronouns, and I am trans. Now, to get back on the topic of the quality of my life, being a transgender non-conforming actor sucks. I recently came across this video by Kenzie Jacobson about why trans people disproportionately struggle when it comes to finding work. I would definitely recommend that you watch the video for yourself. But the long and short of it is that you're less likely to be hired if you're trans, not necessarily because these businesses are hateful towards you, but because they are worried about customers and business partners being hateful towards you, and worried that you will then sue the company. As Kenzie says in the video, trans people are HR nightmares. We are walking lawsuits, not because we are causing problems, but they assume that someone is going to cause problems with us. This got me thinking about my own line of work, which is acting. And Kenzie's video helped me to finally put the words to something that I've been feeling very heavily in regards to being a gender non-conforming person in the business of acting. It sucks. Here on this channel, you know me as a doer of a little bit of everything, a Jack and Jill of all trades, if you want. But by trade, I'm an actor. I got my degree in acting. I spent all of middle school and high school acting. It's pretty much the only actual thing I can put on my resume and confidently say that I am skilled at. It's the only thing I'm truly proficient at. And I wish that was an exaggeration. Now I'm at a point in my acting career where, because I am unwilling and frankly unable to relocate to New York City, LA, or Atlanta, and because I'm not a part of SAG-AFTRA, most of the auditions that come my way are for commercials and theme parks. And that's if I want to make money off of the thing that I've spent my entire life studying. And what I've discovered about these companies is that they don't want my androgynous ass. Let's do a little thought experiment. You know how much I love those. Let's say you're a casting director and you are casting a commercial for Gatorade. The role you are trying to cast is simply man, average height and build. Out of these two headshots, which one would you say fits that description better? Now, let's say you're also casting woman, average height and build. Which one of these headshots fits that description better? And you know what? Chances are, if you're here on this channel watching this video, you're probably super based and chill, and maybe you would cast me. And if that's the case, I guess my question would be, which of these individuals do you think you're more likely to see in a commercial for Gatorade? The unfortunate truth about trans, gender non-conforming actors is that we are jarring on screen. We make people pause their TVs like we are human nip slips because our voices often don't match our appearance according to society. Our bodies often don't match their own parts according to society. So unless Gatorade is casting a role that says looking for a 20-something male aspiring MILF, I might just be out of luck. Because if trans people are walking lawsuits, as Kenzie says in the video, and these companies are worried about the optics of trans people in managerial positions at Home Depot, apply that to an institution that is entirely optics-based. Like, if Coca-Cola does a commercial featuring a non-binary person, what is Chick-fil-A going to have to say about that? What are the millions of viewers and investors across the nation going to have to say about that? Because when you are trans, your body, your face, your voice, your entire existence is heavily politicized. The mere act of casting you and featuring you is, for these companies, a political statement, which is muddy waters depending on the state of our world. In 2018, Coca-Cola did in fact do an ad for the Super Bowl featuring a bunch of queer and trans people. But now that the media landscape is heavily bowing to the whims of overt fascism, these entities are way less comfortable making these kinds of quote-unquote statements. The statement in question being a body on camera. Statements that previously would have gotten them probably a lot of applause. McDonald's does an ad with a trans person, they're potentially going to get the President of the United States of America on their ass. It's gotten so bad that these companies are opting out of using real people at all, let alone trans people. That makes it sound like trans people aren't real people. And maybe that sounds like tinfoil hat territory, but does that not scare you? That these companies don't even want to empathize with real human viewers? That's dystopian as f***. And perhaps you're thinking, hey, wait a second. I saw a non-binary person in a Crocs ad. I saw Elliot Page in a comfy throuple with ASAP Rocky and Julia Garner in a Gucci ad. And that's great. That's wonderful. Elliot Page is extremely famous. You want to know a secret? Yes, you do. You want to know a secret, Beetle? The fascists at the top do not give a about what the rich and famous do, as long as they keep generating money. The only reason that they get pushback from the White House is to make an example so the working class doesn't get any ideas. Stephen Colbert is not Donald Trump's enemy. You are Donald Trump's enemy. And since I mentioned Gucci, that leads me to the segment I'm calling Primary Options for Trans and Non-Binary Actors. Option 1, be rich and famous already. You know that joke among Gen Z where it's like, in 2008, I was playing with my action figures and learning how to read. Little did I know I should have been buying a house. It's the same thing with notoriety as a performer now. Why did I waste 4 years getting an acting degree when I should have been hustling my ass on TikTok? That actually would have opened doors for me. Option 2, become a haute couture fashion model. Is haute couture fashion redundant? I think couture is maybe fashion. Whatever. Become a haute couture model and then branch out into acting. Dog, I live in Virginia. Best we can do is Vineyard Vines, and they do not want me on the runway. Option 3, do experimental art films. There's a reason why when you think of trans representation on screen for the past century, you think of John Waters, David Lynch, Andy Warhol, and more recently the art-forward films of A24. It's because, in my experience at least, these kinds of directors tend to be the most open-minded. Or they want to use you for shock value. It could go either way. Maybe it's both. Now, admittedly, I tend to favor this option, but it can still be greatly problematic. While I admit that art films are kind of my bag, believe it or not, a lot of trans people don't want to be poked and painted and tortured and pissed on. A lot of trans people would love to just be the lead in an action movie, or be in a rom-com, and maybe they would want to actually be the romantic lead or be the superhero without having their transness even be a part of the plot. This also brings me back to the whole New York, LA thing. If you don't live in those two specific locations in the US, your art film is probably not getting funded. No one is getting paid. And look, I love acting for free. I have done it my whole life. In the 13 years I've been doing it, I have been paid to act maybe 6 times. But it's not sustainable as a career. And if we pull the thread on location a little further, you might not even live in an area where art films get made, period. If you live in Scuzzbutt, Kentucky, they will set you on fire just for mentioning Andy Warhol. But don't worry. There's always option 4. You can rest well knowing that one kind of commercial always has its door open to you. This would be, of course, commercials for HIV medication. I also want to nip this in the bud immediately before my entire video gets ratioed by one comment saying, well, maybe you're just not a good actor. Listen, I am so extremely open to this possibility. Look, I have doubts, okay? Do you think I need to be a good actor to be in a f***ing Sonic commercial? I'll let you in on an industry secret. And this is true. This is not conjecture. This is something you are directly told by your commercial acting senseis. When you are submitting commercial self-tapes, usually your fate is decided from the moment you open your mouth to say hello. A lot of times, you're probably getting left swiped before you have even started acting, because that's not what's important to them. What's important to them is how well your shirt fits, how clean your hair and makeup are, how white and straight your teeth are, how well lit you are. Could this be the face of Uber Eats? And although I am not on the casting side of things, I can almost guarantee that a lot of them see that you are trans, they see that you are on the spectrum of androgyny, as many of us are, and they say, as Kenzie puts it, HR nightmare, walking lawsuit, and they pick a cis actor. When they ask me to send in a full body shot, this is what they see. Now, if you're thinking, I obviously should have made a different wardrobe choice, you. I look great in this dress. I would argue that I look professional in this dress. I have abided by every rule in the book on professional full body shots for actors by wearing this dress. It is a business casual, solid color, jewel toned dress. It is not drag. It is not obscene. It is not a joke, although I do love all of those things. But they see my broad shoulders, my flat chest, and my Adam's apple, and they see investors pulling out. They see Republicans boycotting. They see all the problems I could inadvertently cause for the company because I have turned this dress into a political statement by simply putting my body into it. So yeah, I hate to come at you with such a negative video, especially during Pride Month. This is just something I really wanted to get off my flat chest. And Kenzie's video helped me put the words to it. I'm not going to give up. My philosophy has always been that if I'm not getting cast in the films I want to be in, then I will make the films I want to be in. That's why so much of my work has involved me playing all the characters, me playing explicitly female characters, because frankly, I don't have faith that many other people are going to cast me in those roles. But I do have hope. I have hope specifically in other trans creatives. My hope is that others will start to adopt this same mindset, this do-it-yourself mindset. This could be an opportunity for the trans film and acting and theater community to become even stronger and self-sufficient. If we start forming our own collectives, making our own movies, running our own festivals, etc. But I'm not gonna lie to you, shit is rough out here. Rich and affluent trans people get to have full careers as actors. Poor trans actors, non-famous trans actors, have to wait for the ebb and flow of the political landscape to be back on their side. Poor and non-famous trans actors have to risk getting misgendered in community theater. That's a huge problem, at least where I'm at, for some reason. Poor and unfamous trans actors have to apply for commercials that they know they're not going to land. And I'm really not trying to discourage anyone with this. Please, for the love of God, prove me wrong. I just think we have a really long way to go, and I'm tired of waiting to arrive. But to attempt, I guess, to end this video on a more positive note, I do want to say, legitimately, again, happy Pride Month. Which it feels like a weird thing to say, just because, like, how to phrase it? Should we be happy? We should. I sincerely hope that you find ways to be happy this Pride Month, but don't become passively happy. You know what I'm trying to say? This is something I've been thinking about, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Joy is a form of resistance? Yeah. Yes. But more importantly, Resistance is a form of joy. Thought that was pretty profound when I came up with that in the shower earlier. There we go. I brought it around. I'm happy, I'm smiling. It's Pride Month. Go to a block party or something. I don't know. Kiss your trans friends on the mouth. That's it. That's gonna be the end of the video. Great. I pulled it. I brought it around. I saved it. I saved the vibe. Hey, listen. If you want to do some real good for the queer community, my Patreon, you can send me some. You can give me some money. You can subscribe to my Patreon. It's dirt cheap. You can send me some money on Ko-fi. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Someone walking by my window right now. Don't look. Don't look. Mind your business. It's Pride Month. I'm allowed to do this. Oh, I also did want to share that I ran out of eyeliner recently. So I made the mistake of using eyelash glue, black eyelash glue. And so my eyes are just kind of, my eyelids are just kind of stuck as if they were in a resin cast. Oh, it's got me thinking about casting. Now it's bad. Now it's bad again. The vibe is ruined. I need to end this video. No, I need to bring it around. No, I need to end it. I love this brain that I have. You know what would be great? It would be if we could remove body parts. Like, is that really the just like you ever like when your arm hurts or something? Don't you ever just wish you could like take it off, set it aside, or with your brain? Don't you wish you could just like take it out, set it aside for until it. I love you guys. As always, I'm Abe, and this is a fable. Sincerely, thank you for being here. I just surpassed. Just gonna keep this going, I guess. I just surpassed 6,000 subscribers, which is I'm at a loss for words. Genuinely, like that's crazy. That is crazy. I never could have imagined that I would be at this point. Good for me. Good for me. It's Pride Month. I can say that. I can indulge. Good for me. And thank you. And thank you. And I brought it around again. Vibe is good again. And now I will end it. Thank you for being here.